All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Drey. I have a very special guest with me today, Vince. Vince is the top closer on one of the biggest trading offers on the planet. Vince, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, give a quick elevator pitch on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, as Drey mentioned, I'm Vince. I've been in high ticket sales for just about a year. I was setting for about, I'd say like 8 months, and then I got into closing after that, and now it's my second month closing. Um, my first month closing, I made 32K in commissions and a little money on the side from management, but that's who I am.
Cool, cool. How did you get involved in high ticket sales initially, bro? Because you said you've been doing it. You were doing it for you were a setter for 8 months before you were a closer. Is
Yeah,
that true? Okay.
yeah,
How did you get into high ticket sales initially?
yeah. So I was actually in university and Asian culture, bro. Like my parents wanted me to get the fuck to school and do all that basic shit. But um, I was looking for ways to make money online, and I literally saw like an influencer's story on Instagram saying like we're hiring sales guys. I literally just applied, and then from there, that's where it began. But yeah, dude, as a setter, I was making like I would say a pretty good amount of money because it wasn't an offer where I was making 5%. I was making 10%.
As a
So
setter?
as a setter. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was fucking printing. Like my biggest month setting was like 17K in comms, which is not fucking normal. Yeah.
That's actually really fucking good for a setter. So, how did you get your first setting role? Did you go through somebody's mentorship program or you got it on your own?
I didn't get any fucking mentorship at all when I started setting. So I just jumped
How
into
did
it
you get your first setting role?
just through an Instagram story on an influencer. And then I hopped in interview with the sales manager and literally he just trained me from then on.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Doesn't
know
happen
how
too
you
often.
know how rare that is, right?
Yeah. Doesn't happen
That's
too often, that's for
crazy.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's great. Okay, cool. So you literally saw an influencer post that they're hiring, reached out to them, sales manager trained you up, and then you became a setter.
Yeah. Zero sales experience. I didn't even know what the fuck high ticket sales was.
Okay, cool. So what happened in those next 8 months for you to finally be like, okay, I'm ready to be a closer?
Yeah. So funny enough, the person that mentored me was my closer. I was basically I was laying up deals for him,
Mhm.
but I was making on average like 7K a month. Again, my biggest month was like 17K in comms. But I got to a point where it was just fucking boring, bro. Like I was talking to a wall every day, like 10 hours a day. It was retarded. So then I asked the closer if he could help me out with closing, and I got to a point where like setting, I could set in my fucking sleep. Like it was just so easy. And I obviously wanted a new challenge and make more money.
Mhm.
So logically speaking, it just made more sense to move into closing because
Mhm.
one, I can fucking talk to someone face to face like right now and not just speak to my wall in my college dorm.
So you weren't getting fulfillment out of it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you. Okay. And then why didn't you stay with that offer to close for them? Why did you switch? I don't know what industry you started setting for, but now you're obviously in the trading niche. What made you jump niches and start closing for the big one of the biggest trading offers that's out there?
Yeah. To be honest, there wasn't a point where I was like, oh, okay, like I'm done selling this product. I'm gonna jump into like trading specifically. The opportunity just came in through a mentorship and I just applied and I just got into the role instantly. There was like no specific reason of like, oh, I want to sell this guy's product because he's like the biggest trader.
Okay, so you did a mentorship after setting.
After setting, yeah, for closing.
Got you. Okay, tell us about
But
that.
no, yeah, I had
So,
no
so
training for
before you got
setting.
into high ticket sales, you didn't do a mentorship. After you did setting for 8 months, you're like, let me get mentorship to become a closer. Is that accurate?
Yeah, to be a closer.
Why
Exactly.
didn't you just I mean, could you have straight jump straight into closing without doing the mentorship?
Yes, but also I wouldn't have performed or made as much money if I didn't get help.
Why
Right?
is that?
Because a lot of people think, closing is easy. It's so fucking different from setting and closing, right? If you want to close at a high level and want to be like the top 1% of sales reps in the industry, you have
Mhm.
to get help, right?
Mhm.
Because it's just almost fucking retarded where you step into closing and you think you know what you're doing. You're making 6, 10 grand a month, whatever, cool. But then how do you get from 10 grand a month to 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month, 40 grand a month? You obviously have to learn from people that are doing better than you, right?
So what made you go with the mentor that you chose? I'm sure you shopped around, maybe checked out a couple different guys. What made you
Yeah.
work with your current mentor?
We were paired up as a setter and closer, like in pods, and my selling style was very similar to his. It was just very straight to the point.
Oh, so you
Uh,
knew him from closing already.
yeah, Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. I thought this was some random guy you found. Okay,
No, no.
cool, makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, so you already knew him. Got it. Okay. So but weren't you already getting mentored by him while you were setting? Like, I'm sure you reviewed sales recordings from him, how he pitched, how he closed, how his frameworks. No, you didn't.
None. No. He would send me call recordings, but I was just like I was stuck in my own way, bro. Like I
Yeah.
was so fucking egotistical. And it got to a point where I hopped in a call with him and he's like, dude, you're a dumbass. Like, watch the calls. And I did. And that's where I learned the most.
Okay, got you. So how many months did you get mentored by him for you to finally enter a closing position?
A month. It literally took me 30 days. And then like from there, it was just taking calls in volume
And how did you get placed on your current offer?
because it's an interesting story because he works with the guy who owns the program, and the program, like the sales training, has offers coming in and out. And it was like one of the first ones I saw, so I just applied, sent my Loom video, and the manager told me, "Let's hop on."
So you got placed thanks to the mentorship.
Yeah,
Cool, got it.
exactly.
Okay, wow. Okay, so that gave us a good background on Vince, guys. That was fucking awesome. What did you do before high ticket sales, Vince? You said you were in uni?
Yeah, I was for 1 year. I was trying to tell my parents like I don't want to fucking go to school, and that was the only way I figured it out. I was actually, funny enough, I was doing ecom. I scaled like a store, dude. It was so
Oh,
stupid,
you
bro.
actually made money in ecom.
Yeah, I made like
That's
8 grand for
surprising.
like, yeah, for 2 months. And then after that, it was just dead, bro. It was like a pump and dump product.
Boys, ecom trading, like fucking all these all these fucking business models you see, no real skill attached to it. Sales at the end of the day is going to take you further than anything. Why? Because it's a lifelong skill. Would you agree, Vince?
100%. Yeah, I preach on that a lot, right?
So what?
Because
So what made you drop ecom and pursue sales, high ticket sales?
yeah, if you look at like the top 1% of business owners in the world, the most successful, um, they have two things in common. One is adaptability and two is communication. Right. So that's exactly what happens when you're on sales calls, right? If it's like I say this a lot, but it's like fucking playing chess. Right? If your
Mhm.
opponent makes a move, you have to make your other move and be able to adapt to that. While on top of that, you have to be able to communicate at a high level so you can lead them to making the right decision.
Well said, brother. Well said. So you did ecom, you dropped it, and you did. I assumed you did some research on what industries to perhaps join to make some more money, and then you came across high ticket sales. How did you discover high ticket sales, bro? Because this is like a very
Dude,
niche.
yeah, this is not a very normal story. I swear, I just saw a story on Instagram saying we're hiring sales reps. I didn't even know what I was selling. I just applied because like I wasn't really making any money after like the two
Wow.
months I
So it
made
just
money.
literally came out of nowhere like that. That's great. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. What else? Okay, so let's get into some sales related questions, right? I mean, this is more of a spiritual question. So, apart from making more money, Vince, right? As a human, how did you change in the last 12 months? Because in order to make more money in the external world, in the materialistic world, I always say you have to change your internal being first, right?
Yeah.
So, what changed in the last 12 months for you personally?
Yeah. Um, when people tell you that it takes hard work to make a lot of money, I thought online money was like so fucking easy, bro. But when I actually got into sales, holy shit. Like it's a whole different game, bro. Like you think you're doing hard work in your 9 to 5, you think you're doing hard work in whatever business that you're running, but dude, when you step into sales, you will crash out like most of the time.
Mhm.
So I built a tolerance for hard work. Um, I think that's what's changed within me most. Because I'd never worked fucking 14 hours a day in my life until I got into sales. But
Wow.
obviously money's there. So
Any personality changes though? You
I
brought
think I'm
up
just
you
more,
brought up ego before.
yeah, I would say that I still have an ego, but it's not in the way where it affects any decision.
How
If that
so?
makes sense. Well, I had an ego as in I thought I couldn't get help from other people. But now that I'm making 30 grand a month, I'm like, holy shit, who can I ask for help?
Wow, that's awesome. Did you guys listen to that shit? Vince, repeat that one more time so that people understand where you're coming from. Because a lot of people, like, bro, they're in denial, right? And a part of
Yeah.
ego is denial. They're not willing to accept that the situation they're in right now and the human they are right now, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. They're not in the best case scenario, right? So you first need to accept internally that, hey, I'm not where I want to be at. And that's where you let your guard down and that's where
Yeah.
you can actually grow internally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that is,
100%.
is that is that fair to say?
No, that 100%. Like, how do you expect to learn and make more money when you have something that's holding you back? Right? Whether it's subconscious or conscious. If it's conscious and you're not doing anything about it, you're gonna be a fucking loser for the rest of your life. But if it's subconscious, genuinely ask yourself, like, what is holding me back from like being that person I want to become? And for me, it was
Time,
ego. Yeah.
time out, boys. Listen to this very carefully. Before Vince was making 30K per month, he was a setter who was making, on average, how much, Vince?
7K a month.
7K per month, right? On average, he was making 7K per month. In order
Yeah.
for him to get to that 30K per month goal, before he got to that numerical value, he had to change who he was as a person internally. And a lot of people got that shit ass backwards. They think they're perfect the way they are, and they could get to that 30K per month. No, bro, you gotta change your attitude, change the way you think, change your habits, change your discipline. You got to do a big change in your life for you to get that much of a drastic growth spurt, right?
Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah.
Cool, brother. Well said. So, okay, next question. What separates, let's say, a 5 to 10K per month closer compared to
Yeah.
a 30K per month closer or more?
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you see rookie closers? What's the biggest mistake you see rookie closers make?
The way I like to look at it is if you're making 10 grand a month as a closer, you're average. Like that's just industry average nowadays. Um, the main difference between someone who's making like 10 grand a month and 30 grand a month is coming from a place of like caring for your prospect. Not in like, oh, I want to be friends with you, right? But
Yep.
in a way of like, okay, if this guy doesn't pay at the end of the call, he's going to be miserable for the rest of his life. Right. So I come from a place of like, okay, I genuinely want to help you. Help me help you. Break down your situation. What limiting beliefs do you have? And how can I help you get rid of those limiting beliefs so you can get into a better financial, spiritual, better position in overall in your own life. So that's a big thing because a lot of like 10K a month closers it's just fucking commission breath. Like they just want to close the deal, right? But at the end of the day, you're not overcoming the objection, right? You're overcoming the person.
Well said, bro. I always say that too, guys. Like, there's two ways you can approach every single sales call. Number one is by serving others, right? And coming from that higher level of consciousness. Number two, it's coming from greed, right? The very lowest level of consciousness that's out there. So you, as the closer, have to make that decision of, hey, when I join this call, am I just viewing my prospect as a dollar sign, or am I actually trying to help them and serve them? That's all it is.
Yeah.
You have two
It's
options.
really that
Yeah,
simple.
it's
Yeah.
all it's black and white. It's you're either joining the call as a greedy bastard or you're joining the call as you're trying to actually help somebody. It's completely up to you. And yes, 99% of closers, the reason they're fucking broke is because they have commission breath. They're greedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The commission is nice, but imagine making money, but also helping the person.
Absolutely.
It's a
Yeah.
win-win on both sides.
Yeah. People can sense greed through the screen, guys.
100%.
People aren't stupid. A lot of people think like, hey, I'm hopping on a call with a prospect. He's an idiot. Guys, people are smart. They
Yeah.
know what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be sneaky, trying to weasel your way in, trying to get some cash, people will sense that from a mile away. So well
Yeah.
said, Vince. Vince, next question. Do you get a lot of objections?
It's hard to say. If we look at the numbers and break down all the calls that I've had, I'd say 70% of the calls that I've taken were objectionless.
Okay, so
Like
most of
more
them.
than half of them. Yeah. It's because I just have a really good process. Just breaking everything down before I get into the pitch.
Tell them, Vince, tell them why good closers rarely get objections, or 70% of the time we don't get objections.
Yeah. Usually in the first 5 minutes of a call, you can tell if someone has that limiting belief by the way that they're speaking, right? So if somebody uses like uncertain language, like what if, or possibly, or maybe, right? Those are signs that, okay, you need to change their way of how they speak, right? Before you get into everything else. Because if they say, oh, when I make, or if I make 10 grand a month, you have to change it, cut them off and tell them, you mean when?
Mhm.
Because once they make that internal change, then the rest of the call fucking changes. They're not going to say, oh, if I make 10 grand a month, it's going to be when. Right. So if you change that, I guess it's like pre-handling, but more just so like holding them to like a better standard.
Absolutely. Well
Yeah.
said.
So like, yeah, I mean, dude, if you get objections at the end of your call, which are normal, right? But if you have more calls where you have objections than no objections at all, you're doing something wrong. Like something in your process isn't going well, whether it's, spotting the limiting belief, right? Pre-handling it or building enough pain, right? Future pacing properly. There's a ton of factors that go into it.
Mhm. Well said. Let me ask you this: do you price drop before you pitch?
No.
Okay,
Do you?
same. No, no, I'm the same exact way. I talk
Yeah,
to.
I
I
know
know
people
people
that
who do.
do.
I was hoping you say you do that way. I could get your philosophy on it, but we think the
Yeah.
same way. So
Yeah.
cool.
So, I mean, let me know what you think about this. But the way I look at it is if I drop the price before I break down like the mentorship, their brain's just going to be focused on that price and they're not going to give a fuck about, what the mentorship actually includes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, dude, my philosophy with it, and I always use the same analogy. It's the hunting analogy, right? I want to make sure I have the headshot. Like I have the headshot. My scope is perfectly aimed. That way, when I price drop, there's no objections. It's a straight buy.
Yeah.
So if I feel like there's a gust of wind, if I feel like they're not 100% sold, I'm not even going to drop the price. If they're not a 10 out of 10 ready and horny to buy, I'm not price dropping.
Yeah.
And I do a couple temp checks, 3 temp checks usually. How does everything sound? Do you have any questions on a scale of 1 through 10? Like, where are you at? I
Yeah.
want to make sure. Usually, my last temp check is the 1 through 10. I want to make sure they're at a 10 out of 10. And if they're not at a 10 out of 10, I'm not price dropping, brother.
Yeah. I agree.
So as soon as I have the headshot, as soon as I know they're ready to buy, and bro, the best buying sign is when the prospect keeps telling me, bro, what's the price? Just tell me how much it is, and I'm like holding them off, edging them, like, hold on, brother, do you have any questions before we go into the details of it? Do you have any questions about the actual program? No, man, just tell me the price. Okay, brother, but how does everything sound 1 through 10? Oh, 10, bro, just tell me the price. Okay, cool, man. 5K, 10K, 20K, whatever it is, done,
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
So if I hear the prospect asking for the price, I know they're ready to buy. But I'm not going to tell them the
Yeah.
price right away. I'm going to edge them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point that you bring up. I had a conversation about this with somebody else, but a lot of sales reps think that um, when a prospect asks for the price, it's a bad thing, but it's only a bad thing if you view it as a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't view it as a bad
Right?
thing. I view it as oh shit,
Yeah,
they want to buy it. They want to buy it already. But hold on,
exactly.
brother. Do you have any questions? Where you at? How you feeling? Slow it down, bro. That's all it takes. And bro, tension is what creates the sale. The more tension there is, the higher the chance of the sale.
Yeah,
So hey, what's the price? Oh, it's blank. If you reveal your cars right away, there's no tension.
yeah.
It can
There's
fuck
no
up.
urgency.
It can fuck up the deal, bro.
Yeah,
I take it slow, make sure they're ready. I got my headshot. Okay, bang, got it. 10K sold.
10K.
That's the way I like to do it, bro. So that's the way I view price dropping. I want to make sure they're 100% ready to buy before I even state numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your 6 month goal from now?
6 month goal from now,
Yes.
financially.
Financially, spiritually, emotionally, anything.
Yeah. Um, Financially, I want to be at 100K a month 6 months from now. Um,
Great fucking goal.
Spiritually can always get closer to God, close to God, but you can always get closer to God. Those are my two biggest goals. Fitness, bro. I've been fucking slacking on this. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Um, yeah, dude, it's
We're
bad,
more
but
focused on taking calls, bro. That's the problem.
yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, it's opportunity cost, bro. Like, am I willing to get fit but make less money, or am I willing to make more money, or yeah, make more money and get less fit?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's stupid, bro.
Talk about this, bro, because I always like to talk about God. I always like to spread Jesus around. We don't have to bore the viewers to death, but
Yeah,
how important has Jesus been for you in the last 12 months?
very important, dude. I posted this on my story quite recently, but a year ago I was atheist. I just genuinely didn't believe in like anything, bro. Like I just thought everything came down to science. But it was at that point where I wasn't necessarily at a low in my life,
Hmm.
but I was a point where what am I working towards? Like I had no purpose. Right. So a few of my friends told me to get closer to God, and I always just took it as a joke. Like these guys are just like, they're in a fucking cult, right? But
Yeah.
as soon as I actually read the Bible, right?
Hmm.
Actually internalized what it was saying,
Yep.
um, everything changed. And people say that, but dude, like you only know once you actually go through it.
Okay, why did you decide to pick up the Bible?
Because I had no purpose. And all my friends were telling me that um, as long as you have God, you have purpose. And they said it so many times to a point where I was like, okay, maybe they are right.
You're like, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Guys, double tap a couple times back, rewatch that, re-listen to that. If you're an atheist, pick up the Bible, start reading it. That's where purpose comes from. Vince is absolutely right. And bro, it's always good to touch upon Jesus. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
100%.
Um, okay, and what's Vince's 3 year goal?
3-year goal.
Yeah,
Um,
personally, I don't think 3 years ahead. It's anything could
yeah.
happen. But if you have any long term goals, what would they be?
Yeah. Miami penthouse, bitches, cars now, fuck with you. No, my 3-year goal. Um, I preach this a lot, but I don't care about being known. In the sense of like the views. I want to be known as someone who's actually helped people with sales, right? Because everyone learns differently, right? I like to think that I can teach sales in a way where I can break it down in like fucking baby steps, bro. Like it's really like I'm sure you get this as well, dude. Like sales is not that fucking hard. Right? Like it's one of those it's really not that hard. You just have to show up, figure out what you're doing wrong, okay, get feedback on it, and then just implement. Rinse and repeat.
Bro, there's a lot of guys who aren't really high IQ that make a shit ton of money in sales. You don't have to
Yeah.
be a super psychology genius to make good money here.
Yeah. It's
Like
it's
you,
funny
like,
that
like you
you say
said,
that.
10K a month is average, bro. And a lot of people would consider that like, holy shit, 10K a month, it's a magic number, but it's average.
Rookie numbers, bro.
Rookie numbers, bro. Okay, cool. So let's see. Do I have anything else for you? Any questions for me, Vince?
Yeah. What got you into sales, bro?
Oh wow. So I have a crazy story, bro. So after high school, I went to an all boys Catholic high school. I was the only kid in my grade who didn't go to college. Um, I graduated, tried a bunch of business models beforehand, tried trading with TJR, had my own mobile car wash, had a drop shipping website in high school as well. Fucking worked like 8 jobs in high school, like throughout my career. Like I was always a hard worker, bro. So I graduated high school. I didn't really have a clear plan. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I started working at UPS, close by, good benefits, the spiel, right? So I started working at UPS, unloading trucks, loading them. And obviously, I wasn't fulfilled. It fucking sucked. I couldn't breathe in there, bro. Every single day I would come home, I would have black snot out of my nose, just so fucking dusty in there, bro. It's disgusting. And I decided to have a talk with my stepdad because he has a contracting business in the area, right? So I view him as a pretty successful guy. I'm like, yo, what should I do? Right? First of all, I like finance, and second of all, I like talking to people. What should I do? He's like, bro, you live 45 minutes away from the finance capital of the world, Wall Street. I mean, I'm in
Yeah.
New Jersey. Wall Street's right here. It's a ferry right away. He's like, go to Wall Street, talk to some people, like network, see if you can make anything happen. And then he also said, like, bro, just get a sales job. Just go work at a car dealership if that's easier. Like, just do something where you can talk to people and actually learn a business model, right? So if you're working in car sales, for those guys watching who are in car sales, you should be learning the dealership. That way, one day you can open up the dealership for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way I always viewed it. Like whatever job I worked at, I always wanted to learn the business model. Even when I worked at UPS, I was like looking at all the numbers, looking at all the sheets. I wanted to learn how UPS is one of the biggest shipping companies in the world. Right. Long story short, it took me a couple of weeks to get my balls together, and then I went to Wall Street. I took the ferry ride there. So, like I said, I went to a private Catholic high school. So I had my whole suit and tie. I put it on, went to Wall Street, started networking, got a couple of business cards, and then eventually I see this one guy. His name is Chris. He was just walking on sidewalk, and I was like, "Bro, do you know any hiring managers around here?" And he was like, "No, I don't, but I'm going up for an interview right now. It's right here. It's in this building." I said, "Okay, cool. Let me just get your number down. Let's network." Got his number down. He does his interview, goes up, comes down, starts walking around New York. I run into him later and I'm like, yo, Chris, how'd your interview go, bro? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to wait to hear back from them. Cool. I go back to the building that he was at because I remember where I was at, right? And I call him real quick. I'm like, yo, Chris, by the way, or I'm going to text him, call him, whatever, same shit. I was like, yo, Chris, what floor were you on, by the way? He was like, I believe it was, I want to say it was the 12th floor, 13th floor, maybe 11th floor, one of those floors. He said it's 11th floor for the sake of the conversation, right? I walk into the building. It's 40 Exchange Place, 40 Exchange Place right next to the stock exchange. I walk in. The security guard is there. I'm like, yo, I'm going in for a job interview. Could you let me through? She's like, okay, go through. Because every building on Wall Street in the financial district, bro, they have security guards. So they just
Yeah.
don't let randoms in. So I said I had a job interview. She said, cool, go through. I go up to the 11th floor. the office door is right there. It says the company name. I quickly search it up, right, just to do a little
Yeah.
research and see what I'm applying for. I don't know what fucking job I'm applying for. I'm just some fucking 18-year-old who has some balls who just came out to New York, and now I'm fucking going
Yeah.
up to the building trying to get a job. Quickly do research. Okay, cool. They do that. Didn't really understand it. Whatever. I go in. Everybody on sales floor looks at me. They're like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" Sales director walks up to me. He's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Hey, my name's Andre. I know you just spoke with Chris. He had an interview. Just wanted to see if we could talk and perhaps maybe you could give me a shot." He's like, "Come to my office." I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm getting closer. I'm almost in, bro." I go into his office. He's like, "Where are you from? What are you doing here?" I give him the whole spiel, pretty much the same thing I told you, like working at UPS, fucking miserable, want to actually make you money, like very interested in sales. He's like, "Do you have a resume?" I'm like, "No, I don't have a resume." He's like, "Go home later today, fucking draw up a resume, send it to whatever, and you'll have your second interview on Monday." I think it was a Friday that I came. He said Monday, come back. So I come back Monday for my second trip, do my second interview, do it with him again, come back home later that day. And then later that week, he gives me a call and says I'm hired. So that's how I got into sales. Yeah, literally. And then I
That's
started
crazy.
working. Yep, I started working there. I learned sales from what I consider a lot of sales veterans, bro. They were literally, there was guys in the office that worked with Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Literally, they work there. So I got my sales background, my foundation from some of the best guys in the industry. And you know what the funniest thing that I learned from that whole experience
What was it?
is that I don't want to end up like those fucking guys because they're in their
Why do
mid
you say that?
they're in their mid 40s and mid 50s doing the same shit that I was doing, dialing the phones, making sales. I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, listen, you guys are fucking smart. You guys are great salesmen, but I do not want to end up like this.
Why? What makes you say that though? Because a lot of people are willing to settle for that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro, some guys enter sales and they want to be in sales for the rest of their life. I mean, I want to be in the industry of sales for the rest of my life. That's very fun, it's a roller coaster. It's awesome, but I don't want to be dialing the phones for the rest of my life, bro. That's depressing.
Yeah.
Sales, in my eyes, is a form of entrepreneurship, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
sales is a skill that you should learn, master, and utilize for a future business that you're going to build.
Yeah. That's interesting. So you worked in Wall Street, right, as a sales guy there. What made you decide, okay, I'm going to go from working as a sales guy on Wall Street to high ticket sales? What made that
Great,
transition?
great question. So I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but I didn't like the business model. I didn't like the industry that I was in on Wall Street. I thought it was a little sketchy. I didn't like the whole idea of it. I didn't like the principles of it. I'm not going to air it out, but I just did not. I was not fulfilled from the business model.
Yeah.
Similar to you, when you were setting, you didn't find fulfillment. You were bored. I got bored. I wasn't happy doing it. I didn't like the business. But I still like sales, bro. I still wanted to sell something. I just didn't know what. Long story short, through a friend of a friend, we were like in some WhatsApp group chat. He had a high ticket offer. It was also in the financing space, right? So on Wall Street,
Yeah.
I was like in the financing sector of things. So I was like, okay, cool. So now there's a high ticket program that has some sort of financing involved in it as well. I reached out to him. I was like, bro, I hate what I do. By that time, I wasn't even working on Wall Street. I had my own business, my own brokerage that I started in that same business model. So I was like, bro, I hate what I do. Like, listen, I make good money, but I'm just not happy. I don't like it. I feel like a scumbag doing it every day. I'm not fulfilled.
Yeah.
Do you have any extra leads? At least said, do you have any extra leads I could dial? I was like, I'd rather dial your leads than fucking do whatever the fuck I'm doing. He was like,
Yeah.
yes, come in. I started off as a setter, right? Same thing.
Yeah.
I was probably a setter for like 2, 3 weeks, I want to say. And then bang, I became a closer.
Nice. How was that transition? Because you were only setting for like 3 weeks, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a very smooth. My first sales call I took was a PIF for 7.8K.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's not normal.
Yeah, no, it's not
That's
normal.
good.
So like, yeah, he told me like, bro, that's not normal. Like you know what you're doing. And I'm a quick learner, bro, too. So I did study his sales calls beforehand. I shadowed him. I learned from him. He mentored me a little bit as well, trained me. We did role plays, so on and so forth. And yeah, by the time I hopped in, bro, I was pretty decent. Like I said, I closed my very
Yeah.
first deal that I hopped onto.
Yeah. That's good. One thing that I've noticed with like successful sales guys and successful business owners is they do a lot more of just trying things than talking about it.
Yeah.
Right? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, bro, we all have friends who mentally masturbate about ideas, talk about doing this, talk about doing that. I always preach this. Action and balls is really what it takes to become successful, right? No matter what you start in, if you want to become a closer, you're gonna be scared, bro. It's scary hopping on
Yeah.
that first call you ever took, but it takes balls. And then you hop into it, you're like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Then the second call is easier. Then the third one's easier. Then your 20th call is fucking okay. I got the hang of this. This is fucking light work. 40th
Yeah.
call, you're printing, So yeah, action and having balls is very important. I don't talk about a lot of things that I do. I just do it.
Yeah, that's good, bro. Good for you because a lot of people have that analysis paralysis. Oh, should I try closing? Should I try this business model? Should I try that? But
Mhm.
the only way that you actually find out if it's for you is by trying it.
It's a very good word, analysis paralysis. Yeah, I was using that a while ago too. That's guys, analysis paralysis is a very real fucking thing. If you analyze every little thing, try to what's the risk versus reward? Like, bro, I failed more times than you have tried. I said that before. The amount of
Yeah,
business models that Vince tried, ecom, whatever, the amount of shit that I've done, every job I worked, every business model I've tried, and I failed, it's a lot. But guess what? I tried it and I learned from it. And now I'm in a place where I'm succeeding from one of the things that I tried. I tried high ticket sales and it worked out for me. And guess what? If it didn't, guess what I was going to do, Vince?
try something else.
Try something else. I was going to
Yeah.
try something else. It's as simple as that. So a lot of you guys haven't even fired your first shot. Just start throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. For some people, it'll stick off the first try. Some people will throw their shit so fucking hard it'll fucking stick. Some people will take 100 fucking tries.
Yeah.
But in order for it to stick, you got to throw something.
Yeah. I agree. That's a good way to put it. I've never heard that before. Um,
I just came up with that on the fly, but it's fucking sounds good. That's
yeah, yeah. Hey,
the only
that
thing as a closer, bro. You guys got to be good at coming up with analogies on the spot. I always come up with random shit, and it works out. Like it's true. You got it. In order for shit to stick on the wall, you have to throw it.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of you
Yeah, I
guys
think
haven't
a
even
lot of people try things too and then they just give up. Right. So the
loyalty.
way,
Yeah, I preach. Sorry for cutting you off, but I preach that a lot too. Loyalty.
mm,
Right? Not only being loyal to your offer owner that you first start working with, and actually, hey, like I'm on a setting role, like not just quitting after 2 weeks after you try it, but actually sticking it out for a couple of months, you know? And if it doesn't work, yes, sure, drop it, but give it time, guys. Same if you're just getting into high ticket sales. Oh, I didn't make any money my first 2 weeks. Okay, so what?
yeah,
You have to commit to something for a while. A lot of people, yes, you're right. They're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Hey, I'm going to try something for 2 weeks. Oh, didn't work. Next, didn't work. Next. No, you gotta really work it and see if it works.
yeah, I agree. What do you think? Here's a good question. Do you think cold DM still work, like outreach to get onto an offer?
I believe they do to an extent. I actually talked about this recently. So a lot of guys will do cold outreach to try to get on an offer. And it's going to take some consistency, right? Like reach out to 10, 20 creators a day for 30 days. You might get on an offer. But more likely than not, you're going to get on a pretty shitty fucking offer that's not going to pay you too well. If you want to get on a really good offer where you could make 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K per month, those offer owners aren't hiring from their fucking DMs, bro. They're
Yeah,
hiring from sales training agencies that train closers, that train setters that are ready to go. No offer owner wants to waste their fucking time and train somebody of that caliber where you can make a shit ton of
yeah,
money. They want to hire someone who's ready to go. So I believe, yes, cold outreach does work. If you want to make 1K, 2K, you'll hop on a shitty fucking offer that's doing nothing. But if you want to hop on an offer where you're making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K per month, you have to get professional training. You need to.
yeah. Well said.
You agree?
No, I do 100%. Um, Cold outreach works. Long story short, cold outreach works if you want to get in an offer that makes 5K a month most. But if you want to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, you have two options. One, join a program where offers are coming in and out all the time, or you have to already be really good at sales. And from there, it's just referrals.
I always say that, guys. An offer owner who's credible, who's doing a lot of money, who's producing a lot of revenue, excuse me, they're going to hire one of two ways. Number one, they're going to hire a guy who's already collected over $500,000 for another offer, which means you have experience. Or number two, you're going to have to get hired through a sales training agency. Those are really your only two ways to get hired by a really good offer owner. It's
Yeah.
either if you have experience or you got the proper training. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't have gotten my offer if I didn't join a program. So
Did you guys hear that? Vince, say that one more time.
I definitely would not have gone into my offer if I didn't join a program.
You guys can't cheap your way into success. Like that's the other problem, bro. People want to be greedy, save their fucking money, and try to fucking work their way up to success. No fucking successful person I met has not invested, has like skipped the investing in themselves part.
Yeah.
I've never
Takes
seen
money to
it.
make money, bro.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got some more questions from my Instagram story. By the way, guys, I'm doing more podcasts, so make sure you follow me on Instagram at Drey. Close it. Quick plug, because I put a bubble up asking me any questions, asking me and Vince any questions for the pod. So let's see. Is AI going to replace closers?
Never. In my opinion, never. If you're selling a low ticket offer, yeah, Yeah, of course. Like just fucking
Mhm.
run AI DMs, right? But for actual closing calls, never. Because imagine right now you hop on a fucking Zoom call with an AI. There's no human interaction at all.
There's
Right?
a
How is a bot supposed to feel the pain? How is the bot supposed to do, cost of inaction, future base? They can't. They don't have those emotions.
I 100% agree. AI is never going to replace closers.
Yeah.
There's so much emotion that goes into a sales call. I've had prospects cry on a call with me, not with me,
Yeah.
just by themselves. I don't cry with them, but they've cried to me. Let me restate that. I've had prospects on a call cry to me, literally break down into tears and cry. And AI is not going to make your prospect cry. The only reason the prospect's crying is because I sense where they're coming from. I validate the way they feel, right? I open them up. And AI is
Yeah.
never going to do that. So I
Yeah.
don't believe AI is ever going to take over closers solely for the purpose of emotional based programs.
Yeah. 100%.
I'll
Yeah.
see next question.
The real truth about how Drey makes money. He cries with his prospects.
That's funny. I said crying with. Imagine you're actually crying with your brother. That's funny as fuck. Okay, let's see. Okay, so somebody asked this. I don't know if this applies to you if you didn't see results right away, but how did you stay locked in the beginning when you first got into high ticket sales when you weren't seeing any results?
At the end of the day, dude, does anything come overnight?
No.
No. Right. So Alex Hermosi says this, but this is what hard feels like. Then you have two options. What are you gonna do? Be a pussy and give up? What's the worst that could happen? Like genuinely, bro, you try, great, you make 10 grand a month, 20 grand, 30 grand a month. What's the opposite of that? What's contrary to that? Dude, you want to live the fucking life where you're working a 9 to 5 or going to college, working for a piece of paper?
Mhm.
I don't think so.
It's so funny. I always ask prospects that as well. Like if we get to that point, like if they're really being a bitch, I'm like, what's the worst that's gonna happen, dude? Like, let's say the program's $5,000, right?
Yeah.
And let's say they have like 30,000 in their account saved up. Like, what's the worst
Yeah.
that's gonna happen, bro? You invest 5K into yourself, I scam you, I run away with your money. Are you hopping off this call, jumping off a bridge and killing yourself? Or are you just moving forward with life? I'm just moving
Yeah.
forward with life. Okay, so the worst that's gonna happen is you just move forward with your life. What's the best case scenario? Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Ah. So yeah, I mean, bro,
Yeah.
there's really like there's no worse. And then you're like, obviously we're not fucking scammers. Like obviously I'm not
Yeah.
gonna take your money and run away with it. So what's the only scenario we're really left with? Was okay. And do you
Yeah.
believe in our prospect? Do you believe in our systems? Yes. Do you believe in yourself that you're gonna show up to the calls, put in the work, put in the reps? Yes, I do. Okay, so A plus B equals C. What's C prospect? Success.
Bye. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Easy as
Have
that.
you
So
heard of
mhm.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I'm done.
Have you heard of I saw this recently, but it's very powerful on sales calls and just in life in general. Have you heard of the 4,000 dots analogy?
No, I haven't. What is that?
You haven't. Okay.
No.
So 4,000 dots, a scientist like added this up. So you have 4,000 weeks in your life to live. So on average, a human lives around like 85 years. All right. That's, I think, like 4,000 weeks. All right. So let's say, how old are you, Dre?
20.
20. Okay. So a quarter of your life is gone. Right.
Fuck.
So that's a quarter, that's 1,000 dots circled away. Right now, the way I view it is, okay, how many of those dots have you filled up, knowing that you aren't where you want to be? Right? And how many more do you want to circle in, right? Telling yourself, I'm still not where I'm at.
That's a
I
good one.
saw that, bro. It changed so fucking much because
No,
when
I'm
you
gonna
look
be
at
depressed. I'm
someone,
gonna be depressed now, though. I'm 25% of my life is gone. Fuck. That's a
yeah,
good
dude,
one, bro.
it's
I like that
no,
one.
it's actually really good because if you have a 40-year-old prospect on the call, okay, so you have 4,000 weeks. 2,000 of that is gone. Right? Another 1,000 is gone to sleeping, right? Another 500 of it is gone to, your basic human needs, right? Eating, shitting, very basic needs. How many of those dots are left? Let's say, I don't know the fucking math. Let's say 1,000 of those dots are left. Right? What are you going to do with those 1,000 dots so you can actually get to where you want to go?
Wow, it's so powerful. Guys, rewatch that. That was a great analogy. I love that one because it even touched me when you said that. I was like, shit, 25% of my life's gone. I'm fucked. I
Yeah.
got I got
Like,
I
what are
got
you
work
going to
to
do,
I
man?
got, I got work to do. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. How important are analogies on sales calls, do you think?
So important, dude. Um, because you can tell a prospect, oh, this fear is holding you back. This skepticism, this self-doubt is holding you back. But the only way humans interact in psychology is by telling them something that they could relate to.
Hmm.
Right? So if you give them an analogy, it breaks it down in a way for them where it's so simple, right? Where
Hmm.
you don't have to say it to them directly, dude, this fear is holding you back. Are you going to be pussy or do you want to jump?
Hmm.
Instead, you give them an analogy and it just makes it so much easier for them to understand and process.
Hmm. I like that. Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
yeah. Dre, what's your favorite analogy to use on sales calls?
Yeah. So I usually think of them on the spot. I don't know if this counts as an analogy, but I do like an equation analogy where like A plus B equals C. So if they're uncertain about something, if there's some sort of fear or uncertainty, I ask the prospect, "Hey Vince, do you believe our system works?"
Yes.
Cool. Vince, do you believe you're actually going to show up to the Zoom meetings every week, absorb the knowledge, put in the work, put in the reps, and apply it?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, got you. So, A, you believe our system works. B, you're going to show up, learn the systems, learn the knowledge, put in the reps, put in the work, and apply it. C equals success.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. That's like talking to a baby. Makes it really easy to
Dude,
understand.
you're talking to a baby. It's literally A plus
Yeah.
B equals C. You believe our system works.
Yeah.
You're going to use it, learn it, and apply it. What does that equal?
See, success.
Success. Exactly, brother.
Yeah.
You ready to get rolling?
Yeah.
Done. Oh, bro, I was going to ask you this, ready? What's the toughest objection you face?
The toughest objection. I think I have another call set up with another company.
So the shopping one.
Yeah, shopping around. Because you can go about, okay, what happens if all you do is shop around? But also, the way I look at it is I would want to, one, hear both out, right?
Hmm.
Because, like, let's say they're both great,
Hmm.
right? But you won't ever know until you take both of the calls,
Hmm.
right? That's the toughest one I quote unquote struggle with.
Hmm.
I've gotten like quite a bit of them over the line, but in my opinion, that is harder than a partner objection.
Yeah,
How about
no,
you, dude?
it's the same for me. I hate the
Yeah.
shopping around one.
Yeah, it's really fucking tough, bro. Because
It
you
should have been.
genuinely
It
feel
should have
like,
been. It
yeah,
should have been pre. In my opinion, it should always be pre-handled.
yeah.
Like,
But it's also like if you talk to higher level leads, bro, and they tell you that they have another call set up with someone, you're not gonna say no. Like, no, you don't need to. Like, because just think about it, like out of respect, if I booked in a Zoom meeting with you, a podcast with you, right? And then I booked in a podcast with somebody else, right? I'm not gonna tell you no, you can't post this podcast because I want to see how this podcast goes. I wouldn't tell you like, wait, fuck. I wouldn't tell you I'm ready to go with this podcast if I didn't even try another one.
hmm.
Right? You wouldn't just fucking tell me, oh no, we have to post this one before you go into that one. It's just
Hmm.
retarded.
Hmm. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, bro. The shopping one, like, it's. I've thought about it for weeks, and I finally like came to my conclusion of my system of what I'm doing, and it's been working pretty fire. So
Yeah.
that was the toughest one for me. I've
Yeah.
been. I kind of developed a system to where I overcome it now.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Shit, this is real sauce. If I post on Instagram, this might get a little too saucy. So, um, the shopping one. So number one, it should always be pre-handled, right? If you know before the call that they're shopping around, um, I like to pre-handle it, right? So what I mean by that is I'll identify their personality type first. If they're type A, right? So they're dead set on, hey, I want to talk to him and her,
Yeah.
or I make a decision. I'm rescheduling the call to be the last guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I do with type A guys. Now type B, type C, I get another like this is a gut feeling type of thing, right? Where I feel like if they tell me they're shopping around, but I feel like I can still close them, I'll take the call
Yeah.
and I'll continue the call. And a lot of those guys I still close because they're type B, type C. I'm very good with those guys.
Yeah.
But the type A guys, I need to reschedule. I need to be the last guy, bro. If they're dead set and sewn on talking to everybody, okay, bro, cool. Talk to those guys, get all the information you need. For the sake of my time, we only do decision calls. Let's rebook you to be the last call. When's your last call, by the way? Tuesday? Cool. Let's book you Tuesday evening. We'll hop on. You'll know what everybody's program's like. And then by the end of our call, you can just tell us, hey, we're the right fit or we're not. Cool. Done.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's good. Yeah. 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 I've actually heard of that before. That's really good though.
I
Um,
haven't heard anybody talk about that, bro. Like I've
really?
had nobody dissect the shopping objection like I have. I identify, I have a different route based on the personality type. If it's type A,
Yeah.
rebook. If it's type B, type C, I can do it. I
Yeah.
can
Have
handle
you
it.
have you ever had someone where you thought they were type A and then they closed another call and didn't even join your call?
Yeah, that's the risk you take. You take that
Yeah.
risk, but it's the
Yeah.
right thing to do, right? So
100%.
there's always gonna be that chance.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's gonna work out
Hmm.
because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're always going to take that risk and that gamble, and that's just the way life is, and that's what's supposed to happen, and I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So Vince, what do you do with prospects who ask you if there's a guarantee?
Yeah. What is it specifically that you're looking for? And then it always comes down to certainty, like certainty that this can work for me and this can actually make me 10, 20, 30 grand a month. And then I go down the route of, has anybody ever guaranteed you like success in XYZ and whatever it is that they're looking for? No. Okay. So I can tell that you're looking for certainty here, but after showing you like the program, like the students, do you feel like you'd be the one guy in the middle that doesn't get the results when you're looking at the other students? No.
Mhm.
Okay. So I understand that it's scary, it's hard. I can see that you're looking for that certainty, but we never gain certainty by other people's results. You gain
Mhm.
certainty by taking the step and taking the action. And that's how I handle guarantees. Dude, guarantees are bullshit. Like if I it's like it's like going into a business and going into there saying like, okay, if I step into the business, right, I want to guarantee that you're going to 2x my business. It's
Mhm.
bullshit. It's retarded. It's the same thing when you invest your money. You don't step into fucking stocks and you fucking talk to Wall Street guys. Can you guarantee me I'm going to make 5 times my money in a year? No,
Yep.
it's out of your control. So can you show up, do the work, right? Show up to the program, right? Ask questions, right? Will you not give up? That's the guarantee that you have.
That's beautiful. Well said. That's awesome.
A lot of people struggle with this, Drey, but what do you say when a prospect asks you for a guarantee?
Yeah, very simple. The education is guaranteed. The success isn't. John, let me ask you, is success guaranteed?
No.
It's not. The education is. If you go to Harvard University, the best university in the world, are you guaranteed to get a job after?
No.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. When you sign up for Harvard, they don't guarantee you a job after. Why? Because they don't control your decisions. They don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow and actually attend the lectures for the next 4 years. So with us, it's
Yeah.
the same exact thing. The education is guaranteed. The systems work. Let me ask you,
Yeah.
do you believe in our systems, John?
Yes.
Cool. Do you believe in yourself that you're actually going to show up, put in the work, put in the reps, attend the Zoom sessions, and absorb the knowledge and apply it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you believe our systems work, A, plus B, you're going to put in the work, put in the reps, absorb the knowledge, and apply it. What does that entail? What's the answer? You see a
Yeah.
success.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good, that's, there you go. That's an analogy right there, bro.
How long are your sales calls typically?
Um, Typically 40 minutes. So I go through my discovery, 10, 15 minutes max, find the limiting belief, pre-handle it, and then I go into the pitch for the program. Typically takes 5 to 10 minutes. And then by like the 30-minute mark, we're already filling the payment link. And then that's how I have like 30 minutes to handle an objection if it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
How about you, bro? How long is your sales call normally?
Yeah, so mine's a lot longer. Typically like 45 to 60 minutes. I just
Yeah.
like to have a really deep discovery. So my discovery is usually between 20 to like 40 minutes long, right?
Oh, shit.
Because
Yeah.
yeah. And the reason for that is because I want to make sure I have the most perfect discovery. I pre-handle everything. That way, like I said, when my price drop comes, I have the headshot. I don't want to deal with objections, bro. I don't have
Yeah.
time for that. I just want to make sure everything's ready and they're 100% ready to buy and just close the deal. If the objection does occur, that's when the call could go 60 minutes plus. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know some closers that do that actually. It's all preference though,
It's all
in
preference,
my
bro.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I know a lot of guys who do the same exact thing, right? Some people like to do it faster. Some people like to do it slower. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, bro, it's your selling style. There is no right or wrong answer. Vince has his style. I have my style. Doesn't mean that one of us is wrong. We're both making money. We're both good at
Yeah.
what we do. It works
Yeah.
for us in the way we talk, the way we speak, the way we articulate ourselves, and the way we like to sell. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, a piff is a piff, bro. Doesn't
A
matter.
piff is a piff. Hey, a piff a day keeps the doctor away. Am I right? Vince, what's the biggest high ticket sales misconception?
The biggest lie that they tell you before you get into high ticket sales is that you'll be only working 4 hours a day. Um, if you can be working 4 hours a day and make 2K a month, but if you want to make 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100K a month, you have to work minimum, bare minimum, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, or work like 14 hours a day, 6 days, 5 days of the week. Yeah, a lot of people get into this thinking that they can just take calls after that, go fuck off to the beach and just hang out with their friends and family. That is not the fucking reality, my friend.
Yeah, agree, bro. 100%.
Dre, what's the biggest high ticket sales misconception?
I would say the biggest misconception is that people think it's easy to hop on a good offer. People think you could just DM a creator and hop on an offer. It's not that easy. Yes, you can do that to an extent, and you could potentially get like on a shitty offer that won't make you much money. But if you're trying to get on a legit offer where people are making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, do you really think those offer owners and those creators are hiring from their fucking DMs? They're not. What they're doing is they're hiring professionally trained closers or closers that already have experience in the field. So if you're a beginner and you don't have high ticket sales experience, your only option is to go through a high ticket sales training program. Why? Because that's where the biggest offer owners hire from. Because they don't want to deal with guys that aren't trained. They don't want to deal with beginners. They just want to hire somebody that's ready to go, that's making the money, and that's it. That's all it is. Okay, Vince, you're a closer. You make 30K per month, right?
Yeah.
For you to be at that point, you said you had a mentor, correct?
Yeah.
And he trained you and he placed you on an offer.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you looking for when hiring a mentor to train you and to place you on an offer?
Yeah. You have a lot of these quote unquote gurus on social media saying that they do high ticket sales, right? And they tell you that they're really good at what they do in objection handling, but they've never taken a fucking call in their life, right?
Yeah.
So when you look for a mentor, vet them. Like one, see sales call recordings,
Mhm,
right? Because a lot of people are really good at marketing,
mhm,
right? And just selling you the dream, but they don't
mhm.
even know or have never taken a fucking setting or a closing call in their life. One, look for a call recording, and two, talk to them and figure out, like, ask other people, like, their opinion on that guy.
Yeah. Well said. Do you believe that if you're getting mentored by somebody, they should actively be doing high ticket sales, at least taking a couple closing calls per week?
100%. The top sales guys I know, they're training, but they also take calls
Why is it
just
important?
because,
Why is that important for them to keep taking calls?
yeah, because the industry is always growing. There's new ways of selling it's always evolving,
Mhm.
right?
You always
Sales,
have to
like, for
sharpen your
example,
blade.
yeah, exactly. Like if Jordan Belfort were to sell right now on a fucking high ticket program, he wouldn't have sell as well as like someone like us. Not out of ego, but just because the selling style back in fucking 1980 is completely different to now. Because dude, if you and I were in fucking holy shit 1960 selling penny stocks, we would fucking print, bro. Like
Yeah, bro, we
it's
would.
very different.
Yeah, bro. I think we had a good session. Any last thoughts? Anything?
No, 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 that's good.
Yo, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Vince was a great guest. Hope you guys learned something from us. Uh, I don't think anybody's ever done this where there's two high ticket closers who are actively doing it that are literally on a podcast that are giving you guys this much value. Vince, where can they find you on socials?
Vince.Sturgeon on Instagram.
Cool. Yeah, all socials will be linked down below. Pleasure talking to you guys. See you guys next time.